Hey, I'm Miss Stewart.
I'm Ms. Triantos.
And we are here to show you today how to play a game. So the game we're playing today is called Multiplication Squares. When this comes home with your child, you'll be able to have the board game. You'll also receive 2 markers and 2 dice. The point of the game is to practice our multiplication tables up to 6. And we're hoping that just by playing for a few minutes every night, we'll be able to help our students become a little bit faster at those basic timetables. So Ms. Triantos and I will demonstrate how to play. So we each need a marker, and we'll each roll a dice to see who goes first. So she rolled a 3, I got a 2, so Ms. Triantos is going to go first.
So I rolled a 4 times 2, which is 8. And I'm going to connect these 2 dots.
So as you can see, when Ms. Triantos rolled, we have to multiply the numbers that show up on the dice. So when I roll a 5 and a 1, that means I have to multiply 5 times 1, find a 5 somewhere on the board. So I see one right here. And like Ms. Triantos said, we can only connect dots horizontally or vertically, not diagonally. So I'll go ahead and connect my dots there, and then it's Ms. Triantos' turn again.
And I have 4 times 2, which is also 8.
And I also rolled 4 times 2, which is 8. So basically the point of our game is to capture the most squares, and you capture a square by having the most lines on it by the time it's closed. So a good strategy for the game is to try and stop somebody from being able to close a square. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to close that. So if I'm lucky and I get the next one, I'll be able to capture that square. But if Ms. Triantos gets it before me, then she gets a point.
And I have 5 times 3, which is 15.
So let's say, for instance, that I roll another 4 and a 2, which puts me at 8 again. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this square here. The only way you can get a point in the game is by either having the most lines on a square or by being the last to close it if you each have 2. So because we each have 2, but I was the last to close it, that means I claim the square, so I get to color it in. And I've essentially earned 1 point by doing that. Ms. Triantos and I will keep rolling back and forth and trying to capture as many squares on the board as we can. At the very end, whoever captured the most squares wins. So we're just going to also make a couple suggestions here today to help you with any students who might be struggling a little bit with those basic times tables, and also some extension activities for any students who have kind of mastered those times tables. So the first thing we can do with our struggling students is we can help them remember to draw arrays. So if I roll my dice and I have a 5 and a 2, our students will know that 5 times 2 means either 2 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 2. And I can create an array to help me draw that. So we would do 2 groups and add 5 dots into each group. And I can count those dots in whatever way is most comfortable for me. Some students may seek to count them one at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some may have 5 and 5. Some of our students may also just do groups of 2, whatever gets them to that answer. So I know that that's a 10. Ms. Triantos is going to demonstrate another strategy for you today.
So you can also use an open number line. So I'm going to skip count by 2s 5 times. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10.
Okay. A last strategy is particularly useful for any students who maybe don't connect so well with the writing and the drawing, and we just skip count on our hands. So again, we know that 5 times 2 can be read as either 2 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 2. So I'm going to skip count by 2s on my hand until I get to my 5th finger. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So those are 3 strategies you can use with your children at home. You may sometimes need to suggest these strategies to your children if they don't know what they're doing, or if they express to you they don't know how to solve the problem. Another good thing we can do for our students who have mastered our timetable is we can add a little bit of pressure to that multiplication. So we would just put a quick little timer on our phone, anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds. Your child would roll the dice, and they have to answer the question in that allotted amount of time in order to put a line on the board. And if they're not able to answer it with the time management, then they don't get to put a line on the board. If you are having a hard time finding time to sit down and play a game like this at home, we would suggest just putting a timer for the game in total. So you can go home, put a 10-minute timer on your phone, play with your child for 10 minutes, and by the end of that 10 minutes, whoever has the most squares wins. We really hope that you enjoy playing this game with your child at home. Thanks for watching.